Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you again with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Episode 12. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So let's start with Kimmy, since the rest of the show was about Destin. So Kimmy is talking to Maurice at home, and she's telling him how she doesn't feel like being traumatized by her hair coming out in clumps. She knows just from her being a nurse and talking to the doctors and the specialists and everything that this type of chemotherapy that she's going to be getting, her hair is most likely going to fall out. So to escape or to not have to deal with the trauma of looking at your hair in the shower on the floor, she's decided to do something that she can control, which is cut her hair off now. Okay. Now, Kimmy has a head full of hair. And I know that it had to be very difficult to do something like that. You know, we as women, we hold so much of ourselves in our hair and the way that we look. It's our crown and glory. You know, it's all of those things that we've heard over the years. And then something like this happens and you have to cut it all off. Very, very difficult. Even with my mom, I remember when my dad cut her hair off. And, you know, we were actually very amazed that she had a perfectly round head, you know, the right amount of hook in the back, you know, it was all perfect. You know, you try to find some levity in that situation because it's just difficult. The whole time I watched Kimmy, I cried. Okay. And I was like, I'm not going to cry on this camera, because don't nobody feel like all of that. Okay. But I mean, the segment was difficult to watch. You know, she had her one friend, her friend Andrea, she said is her ride or die, is like that, the friend that always has something positive and good to say, came over and sat with her, held her hand. She told Maurice she wants him to, you know, the one girl is going to cut the hair and then Maurice is going to clean up the kitchen in the back, because apparently her and Maurice met. He used to be a barber before he started, you know, becoming an overachiever, you know. Or his words, you know, not mine, but he used to be a barber. That's how they ended up meeting. He cut Jalen's hair when he was little. He said he didn't know he was being sized up at the time, but she had already checked him out on Facebook. So that was how that happened. But anyway, and I felt bad for Maurice because, you know, these things are difficult for husbands and men in general who like to fix things, you know, and there's really nothing he can do. You just have to sit back and watch. So long story short, the girl cut her hair. Maurice, you know, shaved up the back. For now, she's just going to have like a little tapered, small natural afro. But I cried when, you know, she showed her the mirror. Not that she looked bad. She didn't look bad at all. She looked pretty with her hair cut short. But I just know that just all of that, just the whole idea of it just is a lot. You know, and I know she didn't want to cry on camera. You know, they were like, it looks good. It looks great, babe. You're going to really like it when you see it, you know. But when you see you having like her hair kind of looked like this, you know, her own hair was full like this. And then just to know that you had to cut it all off. I mean, it's just hair at the end of the day. It's going to grow back. And you know, usually when we see people who have made it through the other side of cancer and their hair starts to grow back from chemo, you know, it's usually a different texture, but they fully get their hair back and, you know, all of that. So I'm sure that Kimmy, you know, will get to that point. But when she looked in the mirror, I just cried. I was just like, I am so sorry, Kimmy, you know. But like Maurice said, she's not her hair. She's not her breast. These are the things that she's going through. But, you know, Kimmy is a great person, and her personality and her character and all of that, you know, is going to be the things that people will gravitate to and remember. Not remember. Let me not say that, because that implies that she won't be here. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a good person, and those are the things that shine, not her hair, not her breasts, things like that. So, but very, very sad, y'all. It's going to be tough watching this stuff with Kimmy. I imagine I'm going to be crying every time that they put her on the screen, you know, because it just is triggering. It does bring back memories. So, but she didn't look bad. Her hair looks pretty, but I know that was a tough scene for her to shoot. All right, you guys. So let's jump over to this trip to Destin, because when I tell you I was so aggravated this episode, Oh, I was so aggravated. I was so irritated, but let me just get started. So Mel was just like, I just flew in Chef Thomas from DC, so that he can come and take care of my family's eating needs. Okay. Chef Thomas, is that was his name? Yeah. Chef Thomas gonna come in, and he done made breakfast for him, and he's telling them everything. He got avocado toast, and he got this, and eggs, and, bacon, and blah, blah. I mean, he done hooked up everybody. Everybody was just like, oh, shit, this is good. All on Mel's dime. And I'm only saying that because it's going to be important in a little while. Okay. But anyway, Chef Thomas, he came and he hooked up the family. So we all sit down and we eating. And before we eat, Lil Martell prays. All right. And he prays. He thanks him, the Lord for the food and, that the family is together and his mom and dad is happy and all of this. It was really nice to see that these kids are very, very happy that their family is all together. So, I think that this is a good thing that this is happening as long as everybody can stay clear that Mel and Martell are not getting back together. And that includes Martell. Okay. For some reason, Martell has fixed it up in his mind, even though he keep on saying, it's just for the kids. But he don't even keep saying that. He says for him and Mel too. And I feel like Martell was feeling like this was going to be like the open door, the gateway to them maybe possibly working on trying to get back together. And I don't know if it's just me, but it's clear Mel is not on that page. And I commend Mel for really being a good person and inviting Martell. Now, it could have been just for the show. I would like to think that it wasn't, though. I would hope that she is really, truly trying to make sure that the family builds good memories together, whether or not her and Martell are together. That's for her, between her and her God, y'all. But Mel was great in doing something like this because we still could be working on a good relationship and we do separate vacations. Okay, so hats off to Mel for that. Especially when Martell tells her that the Scotts are coming. Now, let me back up. Before they start that, the kids are saying what they are happy about, what's their best memories with on the trip, and the one they keep on talking about them flower shorts. It's funny how certain things just really stick in your mind as you are a child. Certain things, like when I was little, my grandmother used to drink Schlitz malt liquor beer, and she would get the tall cans and she would pour the can, because she was a lady. And she would pour her beer in a mug and it would be like this much left. And so she always had a little mug for me, very similar to the big mug that she had. It was like copper or whatever, the old copper mugs. And she would pour beer in my cup and we would sit there and watch all my children in General Hospital, like all Guiding Light and all of the soap operas back then. And that memory sticks out in my head like it was yesterday. Like I can completely remember the sound, the smells, the everything, the look of where we were, her house, all of that. And y'all know a bitch old, so that is a memory for sure. But yeah, the kids are saying what they're, they remember. Martell was just like, well, I was looking and I thought about the bike rides. Okay, yeah, last time that they were all there together. Him and Mel rented the bikes and they got the basket for the baby and, he would put her in there and they would go on the bike path and they would ride and all that. And of course we saw the picture and all that. So that's what Martell likes to cling to. But like I said, he goes and tells Mel that the Scotts are coming. Now, do you not remember that the last time we got together, we said that we were going to respect each other enough not to say shit about each other in social media? That don't mean that I want a motherfucker on my vacation. And when I tell you I was so mad when he said that, she was just like, what? Okay. The Scotts are in Pensacola. So, he was on the phone with Marceau and they said that they were just down the street, basically. And so that they were going to drop by. Okay. And Mel was just like, when? And he was like, they coming in about 45 minutes. Let me tell you, that would have fully fucked up my trip. Because I'm on vacation. That means that, first of all, it's already enough for me to have to deal with you for the 5-7 days, however long we here. Now you got some people that I can barely stand coming on this trip. Like, no, and you didn't pay for it. You ain't picked up a fucking penny around here to pay for it. Not that even Mel asked you to do that. You could have the common decency to ask Mel for Marceau and Letitia to come. Okay? Just don't nobody feel like that. I am on vacation. That means I want to have my guard down. I already have to be trying to be, on the lookout because your ass might try to sneak in my fucking room tonight, and here you come inviting, like, no. So from then on, I was irritated. With them. So again, hats off to Mel because she handled it much better than I would have. And maybe it was just because it was the show and they knew that they had to go on and film, but and he was like, I know that Mel is a little annoyed with me for inviting the Scotts and not running it by her first, but and I know that they have some problems in the past, but I feel like there are times when you have to let those things go at certain times. Nigga, this ain't the time. Don't nobody feel like dealing with Letitia and Marceau on their vacation, and that was not your decision to make, Martell. I can't even, and I don't feel like sitting up here fussing at Martell the whole time, but that shit pissed me off and I couldn't get right for the rest of the damn episode. Mel was just like, see, this is classic Martell. This is some of the problems that they had in their marriage. The fact that he kind of feels like what he says goes. He gonna make the decisions. It's all about control. Mel was feeling disrespected. Okay? And she had every right to, because it was just like, that shit, okay, I done already told you it bothered me, right? Okay, let's move it on along. Before they get there, the family goes out to the water. We see them all in the water, and Martell throwing the kids in the water, and Mel, jumping out the water, and the kids swimming. Like, it's a good time, okay? At one point, Martell is out of the water, and Mel is just still kind of frolicking in the water, and he goes up to, he's like, look at this, look while I was looking at my phone, and she was just like, what is this? Oh, you mean tell me you got all these pictures in your phone? And he was just like, well, yeah, on the iPhone, it stays in the cloud forever. All right, but I feel like that nigga got it in his favorites. Okay, so he can pull that shit up quickly. It's actually very sad to watch. But I feel like it's also eye-opening for people that might be having problems in their marriage right now. Like, not always do we get to see a couple that was together, went through a divorce, and then after the divorce and the regrets that are had. It is clear that Martell regrets fucking up his family. I mean, it is so obvious he wants to talk about the past, and Mel is just like, we ain't on that page. Like, put your phone up, bruh. Okay? Because I was there too, so I remember, first of all. Secondly, don't feel like that's going to be something that we going to do again. Those days are past. Remember, you laid down with another woman, and not only that, you created a baby. Certain things we just not going to be able to get past, okay? And it's clear that Mel has moved on. So him showing her the pictures, and she was just like, we are only here for the kids. Like, you have to keep on saying that, because Martell, child, let him tell it. I think he really thought that these two was really about to get back together. So anyway, they go back and they go sit in their beach chairs, okay? And then we hear, hey, everybody. Okay, here come Marceau and Letitia and the kids. And I'm sure, back in the day, the kids had a relationship, or they probably still do, or whatever. And that was fine. So the kids were fine. But as soon as I heard Letitia, hey, kid, oh my God, Mel, you got braids. Oh my God, you don't never have braids. Like, that, even that annoyed me. Because, bitch, why you act like a bitch is black and she got black people hair and she want to wear some fucking braids? Is it that big of a damn deal? Mel was just like, yeah, it's for the girls. Because Martell was just like, well, I went and took whatever the oldest daughter's name is. I took her to get her hair braided, and Mel knew that I really do like braids, so I feel like she got her braids done, because she knows I like them. I was like, nigga, stop. I know every black woman out there was like, the bitch got braids because don't nobody feel like fucking with their hair. They 4C hair in the damn, you ain't never had some tangled up hair until you been in the beach water hair. That shit, you be out there trying to clear that shit up. Don't let it dry up. Honey, you better clear that shit and put some conditioner on it as soon as you get out that water, because, honey, it will lock up on you in a minute. So that had nothing to do with Martell Let him tell it. She got braids for him. Again, annoyed. Mel was just like, I felt my mood switch when Letitia and Marceau got there. So hopefully nobody switches up. Hopefully everybody can still stay on this peaceful path. Okay. But I was just like, I mean, I guess Mel was going to have a talk with herself and God, like, Lord, let me just please make it through these next few hours that they going to be here. Let their ass go and it'll be done. Okay, so they go in the house and they sitting around and talking, and it's all about, oh my God, like, I can't believe y'all together. Like, this the old times. Like, this the old Mel and Martell that we used to. Okay. Nigga, we all know that. Quit talking. I'm talking about if I was Mel. I would have been like, okay, the old Martell and Mel, this is the new Martell and Mel, and you don't need to keep referencing back the old. But I feel like Marceau and Letitia was doing that to like kind of twist the knife, because you already know that they kind of can be sarcastic, right? So I just was like, ooh-wee. And I'm not confrontational, but certain things like I know that I'm not going to deal with, it's got to just be for the show. Because I would have been like, I don't have any desire to sit down and talk to you guys. Like, I know that we said that we're going to be cordial, and my being cordial is like, hey, how y'all doing? And not for y'all to be on my vacation. Mel is just like, just chill. Okay, stop trying to change the narrative and stop trying to make it be a certain way and stop trying to make Martell think something and stop trying to make it uncomfortable. The whole thing was so super cringy that I know Mel had to have been so uncomfortable. I mean, everybody in that room should have been uncomfortable, you know, and then Marceau, you know, we're not going to ask certain questions. Certain things are going to be triggering for them. But you continue to do it. Y'all continue to do it. Y'all want to play the newlywed game, you know, and actually that newlywed game, I think, is what kind of broke the ice a little bit. But it still could have went left, because the questions that the Scotts was asking the Holtz was just sort of like, why are you asking who loved the hardest? Does it matter at this point? You know? So I was annoyed with that. But then by the time the Scotts got into the chairs, it felt like Mel and Martell, or it felt like Martell's always been fine. I felt like Mel finally was just like, it is what it is. Let me just get through this. Okay. Loosened up some, laughed some, and, so they get through that. So they're talking about playing games and all that. And Mel was like, well, there's a pool table upstairs, you know, if you guys want to go play a game. So Mel and Letitia stay downstairs. Marceau and Martell go upstairs to play pool. So we've got the split. You guys know how they go back and forth between the two. We've got Marceau and Martell upstairs talking. And, you know, Marceau was just like, Martell, how did you guys get to this place? Because when they were in Vegas, for example, how volatile everything was. Well, first of all, that was fresh in the middle of their divorce. You know, there's been some time for them to separate. You know, Martell was just like, well, I know that Mel had to take some time, you know, to heal. And, well, you know, I had to take some time to heal too, because, you know, with the divorce and everything, you know, we went through a lot. It's just like, okay, we're not going to keep beating a dead horse, Roxanne. But as long as Martell realizes that a lot of the shit, not saying that Mel is perfect in any way. Mel has her ways too. But we know that Martell is responsible for the demise of their marriage. Okay? And Martell can sit up there and tell Marceau whatever he wants about, you know, he knew that Mel checked out of the marriage, and so she was, you know, had stopped having sex with him. And, you know, he was saying it to me, it sounds like that was the only thing that Martell had a problem with, is the fact that Mel didn't want to sleep with him as much as he, you know, as she used to. And he would tell her that. And I guess when they were having problems, she was, nigga, ain't nobody fucking you. You already get on my fucking nerves, and you ain't never here, and you doing whatever you doing. Like, if she had an idea something was going on or what, you know. So Martell can say all of that, but yeah, he's responsible. He's responsible. But, you know, Marceau was just like, well, maybe you just needed to realize that women that are married, wives have sex less. Okay. And yeah, wives probably do have sex less, but people need to realize, or men need to realize, because women already know this, But I don't think that men realizes that when women become wives, we get so much more heaped on us responsibility wise. You know, you got to be the wife, so you got to keep a clean house and you got to cook for your kids, and you have all of these kids and you still are expected to work and contribute financially to your household. But then you also have to be fucking your husband. At the end of the night, you tired. Here they come, wanting to come rubbing your thigh at 9:30 when you done finally settled down and got into bed, and really all you thinking about is closing your damn eyes. And here they want to have, like, men need to realize that there's reasons why women, you know, might not feel like having sex as much. Maybe if you contributed more in whichever kind of way that you can to the marriage, then maybe I'll be more open to having sex with you. And this is something that all young couples go through, because everybody is trying to figure out their place in their marriage. There is a clip going around of Michelle Obama where she's talking about the times in her marriage where she knew she was given 70 and Barack was only given 30. And, you know, there were times when she's had to pull back on her career, and she had to pull back because she knew how she wanted her family to look. So that was a commitment that she made. But yeah, there's definitely times where it's not 50-50. Okay. And she was saying that she wishes that young couples would know that and stop giving up on their marriages so much. I mean, if it was always 50-50 and it was always great, I mean, some marriages might work that way. But I think the majority is, when you first get married, everybody is trying to blend one marriage. I mean, you know, two lives into one marriage. And it takes some adjustment, and it takes certain people longer or shorter to get to those adjustments, you know, and for it to all work out. But in the end, if you can make it on the other side, because see, the thing is, you can't see the forest for the trees. When you're going through it, then you don't realize that there's another side. You just think that this is how it's always going to be. And, you know, you just be like, I'm not doing this shit. I watch my mama or I watch my aunt do this and such and such and such, you know. But really, that is a part of the whole marriage thing, is you still sticking to the commitment even when you don't feel like it no more, you know. Now, of course, if it just continues on and on and on, and you know that this is just something that you can't do, then that's one thing. But I think that a lot of times, sometimes people do give up prematurely because they just aren't realistic about the roles and how things finally land, how the marriage finally settles. I'm preaching. Child, it's hot in this car. So I'm gonna get off of it. But anyway, Marceau was just like, yeah, wives just have sex less, you know. And Martell did say, I'm still not sure if he was saying this for the benefit of the camera or what, but he was saying that, you know, he felt like she checked out because it was something that he was doing. And it's like, which one came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, it's one of those situations where you're just like, so did she check out because you was cheating, or did you cheat because she had checked out? Like, you don't even know which one came first. But yeah, I mean, it's always going to be Martell fucked up the marriage. It's just going to always be that, because that's what's on record. Marceau asked him, how's he going to feel about Mel dating, you know, and even him dating, you know, and he was just like, well, I know that it is going to happen eventually. You know, I feel like me and Mel could sit down and talk, you know. I think that she's a pretty good judge of character. So I believe that. I was just like, all the good things to say for the camera, because something tells me that Martell is going to be a pain in the fucking pussy when it comes to Mel really dating and like if she meets somebody, because he already acted a fool. Wasn't she on a date once and he came and showed up there and acted a fool, you know? So I can already tell that Marcel can say whatever he wants for this camera. It's gonna be very hard for him to deal with it, even with him still seeing Sheree. He still seemed like the type that's going to be mad about Mel moving on. Okay. And so I'm sure Mel is going to keep that shit under wraps. She probably might even be with somebody now. And she probably going to keep that shit under wraps, because who needs extra, you know, shit from Martell, from her personal life, from her moving on, divorced and free. In the meantime, you know, Martell, well, you know, just for now, it's all about the kids and making sure that they're good. You know, we're just going to ride it out. And see where they all fall. But yeah, Martell keeps on insinuating that this is just the beginning of like a beautiful new chapter with him and Mel. Okay. Not the same for Mel. So we see Mel and Letitia downstairs, and they're talking. You know, Letitia was just like, so what made you invite him? And Mel was just like, well, you know, Letitia, you know, I've been through a lot, but you have to be mentally prepared and strong enough, you know, to invite somebody to your space. Well, Mel has had a lot of time to self-reflect and a lot of time to just be by herself and really kind of figure out, what does she want? What makes her happy? What makes her not happy? What are the things that she needs to get rid of in her life? And what are the things that she needs to hold fast to? And, you know, she did some slicing and dicing, all right? And maybe she made some additions where she needed to. But, you know, she said that she don't wake up no morning regretting any of the decisions that she's made. She knows that these are the best decisions for her, and it's worked out fine. So those are the steps that she's taken to, you know, heal. And so then Letitia was telling her, like, you know, that's good. That's so good, you know. But then in the confessional, she says that she doesn't know if Mel is telling the truth. Mel only shows what she wants you to know, which is what everybody does. So I don't even know what that means. Okay. Nobody, if we don't want you to know all our damn business, then we're going to tell you what we need to tell you, especially you, Letitia. Like, why would I sit up here and open up my heart and pour it out to you when we've had the past that we've had, you know? So when Letitia said, you know, Mel is good at, you know, fooling people, including herself sometimes, I thought that shit was fucked up, because I was just like, Letitia, Mel is already doing a lot to tell you any of this stuff now. Okay, I feel like she's saying it because it's already stuff that she's already told us and everybody else on the show. But still, there was some level of kind of like girlfriendness, you know, that we're talking back and forth with each other. For you to say that Mel fools herself, first of all, Mel don't owe you a damn thing. She could tell you that, you know, she flew to the moon for 2 weeks and, you know, had some time up there. Like, she could lie. She could say whatever she wants to say. And that's what you was gonna get. You was getting enough just getting this, because you shouldn't be on my damn vacation anyway. You know? So for her to say that Mel fools herself, like, what are you trying to say? That Mel really wants to be with Martell? I think Mel is very clear that she doesn't want to be with him. You know? So I was just like, bitch. See, that's why folks can't move forward, because all of this was being very facetious and just, you know, rude. And again, she would have, Mel told her way more than I would have, even if Mel has been saying it over and over. I still wouldn't. Let me keep on going. So anyway, the conversation goes okay. We don't have any confrontations. You know, Mel and Letitia, I guess they've gotten to a new place in their, I won't say friendship, their acquaintanceship, okay? And so it goes okay. Mel says that she has dated since her and Martell broke up. Nothing really too serious. You know, she's not in no rush to get married again. She's all about now the commitment, the loyalty, a person that is going to say that they want to be with you and only you, and honor that. Okay, so that's more of what she's looking for. If it happens to turn out that that person that she ends up with, you know, it becomes more serious and she does settle down and get married again, you know, then she'll do that. But there's no rush to get to that point anymore. Her eyes have been open. She's learned a lot, like I'm sure most people do after they've gone through a divorce. So, you know, but so that's pretty much how it ends. All right. Letitia and Marceau are going back to Pensacola that night. I mean, you know, after they leave there, packing up and going back home. So they didn't have to deal with Marceau and Letitia too much. But yeah, Martell inviting them out of line. Out of line. All right, you guys, that is it. I have to get out of here. This car is hot. It's actually a nice day today. It was raining when I took Blue for his walk earlier. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here, you guys. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.